Today we're taking a look at these college basketball matches, which are happening on Saturday, February 25, 2023, and giving you our team and total picks for today. Welcome back to High Stakes. Before we dive into our video, don't forget to subscribe and push that notification bell to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos, and make sure to watch it till the end so you don't miss any of our picks. Also check out our Patreon if you want access our premium picks. Our Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. You will find the link in description and comments section below. One more thing before we start, check out our new channel High Stakes Props and Parlays, where you can find our player props and parlay picks predictions. You will find the link in the description and comments section below. Creighton vs Villanova. Villanova is playing the best basketball of the season lately and is getting 4 points on their home floor. The addition of Justin Moore has led to more wins for the Wildcats, as he now provides another scoring threat behind Daniels and Dixon. Villanova covered the 9.5-point spread on the road in Creighton earlier this season when they lost by 5. Villanova has now won 4 of their last 5 and is putting together a strong run to end the season. The Wildcats have also won their last 4 home games and will defend their home court here. Creighton has only covered 2 of their last 7 games. Dixon has the strength to push Kalkbrenner off the block and limit his easy looks. Trust the home team here getting points. Take Villanova plus 4 points at home. Both of these teams have been cashing the under lately. Creighton has hit the under on 6 of their last 8 games. Villanova has gone under in 7 of their last 9. Neither team plays it fast. Creighton's tempo is ranked 161st in the nation as they slow the game down to get good looks for Kalkbrenner. When you have a big man shooting over 70% from the floor, it is worth it to slow it down. Villanova plays even slower. Their tempo is ranked 342nd in the nation out of 363 teams. Creighton's defense is also strong enough to limit any easy possessions for Villanova. All signs point to the under in this one, so that will be the play here. Take the under 137.5 points. Oklahoma vs Iowa State. The wheels have fallen off for this Oklahoma Sooner squad. They only have 2 wins in their last 11 games. Their best player is outside shooter Grant Sherfield, but Iowa State's defense locked him up in their first matchup. Sherfield was held to 4 points on 1-7 shooting, as Iowa State has multiple wing defenders that can take turns focusing their efforts on stopping him. Iowa State will be hungry to get back in the win column after losing 2 in a row. The Cyclones' defense is excellent. It is ranked 8th in the nation in defensive efficiency and will shut down the struggling Sooner attack. Trust the home team in this one. Take Iowa State to win big at home. This is a matchup of 2 teams that play half-court offense and rely on their defense to win games. Both teams are ranked better in defensive efficiency than they are in offensive efficiency. Iowa State will be playing at home with the 8th most efficient offense in the country. In the matchup between these teams earlier this season, the Cyclones held scoring guard Grant Sherfield to only 4 points on 1-7 shooting. Iowa State plays a slow game, their tempo is ranked 318th in the country, and Oklahoma is not much faster as they only rank 274th. Iowa State has gone under the total in their last 4 games and is excellent at slowing their opponents down. Take the under 128 points. Connecticut vs St. John's. UConn has won 3 of their last 4 games against the spread and is 2-1 at TS in their last 3 road games. St. John's has been struggling at home recently, losing 2 of the last 3 played there outright. Look for UConn to play St. John's tough in this important matchup on the road. Take UConn minus 7.5 points. UConn has gone under the point total in 2 of their last 3 games and 2 straight on the road. Look for UConn to try to slow the pace of the game down on the road to remain competitive. St. John's and UConn currently rank 9th and 147th in pace of play respectively. Most signs point to a lower scoring affair. Look for this game to go under 152 points. TCU vs Texas Tech. TCU has lost 5 of their last 6 games against the spread and 4 straight on the road. Texas Tech has won 5 in a row versus the spread. TCU did win the lone matchup with Texas Tech this season, but that game was at home. The Horned Frogs have struggled on the road recently, and the Red Raiders have been playing very well at home. Look for these trends to continue. Take Texas Tech minus 2.5 points. TCU has gone under in 4 of their last 5 games, and has have scored 59 or fewer points in 2 of their past 3 games. Texas Tech has gone over in only 1 of their previous 4 games, and they have held their opponent to 67 or fewer points in 3 of their last 4 games. Texas Tech and TCU currently rank 123rd and 56th in pace of play respectively. Most signs point to a lower scoring affair. Look for this game to under 145 points. Clemson vs North Carolina State. When push has come to shove in ACC play these last few weeks, it seems as if these two teams have really started to show their true colors. North Carolina State's a team that finds ways to continually win at home and play .500 basketball on the road, while Clemson wastes a bunch of their good fortune winning by huge margins and then following it up with bad losses. The Tigers have really done nothing but play themselves out of a potential NCAA tournament bid, and now with chances slim you are asking them to be at their best. I just can't buy it and have got to fade the Tigers, at least in these next 2 road games. I just have a tough time seeing how they'll be able to muster up enough consistent play to win at least one, if not both, of these road games against teams that just don't lose at home. North Carolina State's a .500 ATS team at home this year with a 7.72 ATS record, but the games that they do cover, they cover with ease, thanks to a plus 4.3 average margin of cover. This could easily be a game where North Carolina State leans on Clemson the entire way and ultimately covers with ease late as the Clemson's gas tank empties. The Wolfpack are just too good at home and would have no problem being the ones that effectively end Clemson's NCAA tournament hopes. Our team pick is North Carolina State -6 points. Clemson's really going to have no choice but to try and run with this North Carolina State team that averages 84.1 points at home this year. It's not like the Tigers will mind that too much given their offensive capabilities if things get rolling, but you can't expect to go into North Carolina State and beat the Wolfpack by holding them down on the scoreboard with your defense. Clemson's defense is decent and can be counted on to get key stops when necessary, but I expect this game to be played at a fast clip throughout. Remember, North Carolina State's win here puts them tied with Clemson for that 4th spot in the conference and that prestigious seeding placement in the lengthy ACC tournament. The Wolfpack is going to play to their strengths as well, and that's pushing the pace and scoring the basketball at home. These two teams combined for 93 points in the second half of that first meeting, and it's that style of play I expect throughout the full 40 minutes here. We might not get a half with 90 plus again, but seeing 80 plus in each half easily gets us over this number. Our total pick is over 146.5 points. Michigan State vs Iowa. It's really got nowhere to go but up for this Iowa offense after that rough outing at Wisconsin, but that performance actually sets up the spot as a nice bounce-back opportunity for the Hawkeyes against a team that could very easily have some sort of energy crash that ultimately has Michigan State riding off this game. For one, it's back at home for Iowa and their offense that averages nearly 90 in this building, but it's been that unrelenting ability to score in that building that has pushed them to a 80% cover rate there, as Iowa is a Big Ten best 12-3 ATS as the home team this season. Iowa's last home game also had some similarities to this one in that they were hosting an Ohio State team that they had already lost to earlier in the year, in fact, the game prior to losing at Michigan State. Well, the Hawkeyes used their offense to run the Buckeyes off the floor last week in the 92-75 revenge win, a scenario they should be able to duplicate against the Spartans. Michigan State isn't going to be holding Iowa in the 60s again, and if the Hawkeyes are running and gunning and the Spartans are emotionally drained and can't keep up, this one could be over by the midpoint of the second half. I simply can't trust this Michigan State offense in this situational spot off their highest scoring output in Big Ten play to come close to keeping up with the points I expect this Iowa team to put up after a couple of frustrating performances. Our team pick is Iowa -3.5 points. Oddly enough, the total is a bit trickier because even with expecting Iowa's offense to bounce back and produce at 89.2 points, home game average is always going to have odds makers look towards the higher side of their range when releasing the number. The fact that Michigan State is 6-3 OU on the road this year and Iowa is 11-4 OU at home helps in that cause as well. Yet Michigan State's defense is still the strength of this team and one of the better units in the country with a 26th rank in KenPom's Aged. Iowa's still a team that hasn't been able to crack more than 60 points in their last 2 games and is facing another tough defense that held them to just 61 points in the first meeting. So it's not like there aren't plenty of signs still pointing to the under for this contest, and even in expecting better production from Iowa's attack, offenses aren't generally going to get completely healthy facing Michigan State if they've been dealing with some recent struggles like the Hawkeyes have. Quite frankly, this total comes off as far too high for me, even with me on Iowa to find success in the Austrian shillings market. Iowa's still 4-6 OU off a loss this season, and with the expectation that the majority of the money will be on the over, I'm quite comfortable being the contrarian with a total that's this high. Our total pick is under 146.5 points. Stony Brook vs Charleston. Laying this type of chalk can get dicey for so many reasons, because you often can need too many things to go your way, but Charleston has to be the play here. Huge advantages in both the situation and statistical framework of this handicap exist for Charleston across the board, and even with the potential to get backdoored or anything of that ilk, more often than not, the Cougars should roll in this spot. There is nearly a 20-point difference between what Stony Brook's offense averages overall, 63.4 game, compared to what Charleston puts up, 81.4 game, a disparity that grows to basically 22 points when you look only at road-home splits, 60.9 game versus 82.8 game. Stony Brook's going to have no motivation to try and make a game of it in the second half when they've already been trailing by multiple possessions for the bulk of play, as I expect, as Charleston shooting themselves in the foot is likely the main reason they don't get this ATS to win. Our team pick is Charleston minus 20 points. With such a talent and skill disparity between the two teams, and the situational aspect of the game being very different for both teams, they do all kind of add up into expecting this one to be a loosey-goosey type contest, where points aren't hard to come by. Charleston knows they've just got to play their own game of scoring 80+, and they'll likely come away with a relatively comfortable win. From the Cougars' perspective, there isn't likely to be a big concern about locking things down defensively for 40 minutes, because they simply won't need it, and why would Stony Brook guys be looking to lay it all on the line defensively and risk being more banged up before their one final crack at glory in the conference tournament? Sitting on the ball late in blowout wins have helped Charleston get to their 6-9-1 OU record at home, but even with that being a minor concern, this Cougars team is still 5-1 OU during the 6-game winning streak. A Charleston win correlated with the over-connected has been what's been hitting of late, and there just aren't anywhere near enough reasons to even consider straying away from that potential result in this game. Take the over 143 points. Missouri vs Georgia. The Tigers are the better team and have more to play for in this matchup. Missouri is fighting for an at-large bid to the tournament, while Georgia may have lost their chance at a postseason berth already. Missouri is excellent on offense, where they rank 10th in the nation in efficiency. They will be able to score easily on this Georgia team that is ranked 122nd in defensive efficiency. Georgia is not playing well right now and just lost back-to-back games by at least 30. Missouri is the same caliber as Arkansas, as they both have 8-7 records in conference play. Georgia's best players have struggled to score more than 10 points consistently lately and will struggle here as well. Take the better team and lay a small number in this one. Take Missouri to win and cover on the road. Our team pick is Missouri minus 3 points. This is a high total, but that is because Vegas knows there will be plenty of points scored. Don't be afraid of the over. Georgia has given up 97 and 108 points in their last 2 games, and now the 10th most efficient offense in the country comes to town. Missouri plays fast. They are ranked 64th in tempo out of 363 schools. Georgia is in the top half of schools in tempo, ranking 148. 4 of the last 5 Georgia games have gone over the total, partly because they cannot stop anyone off defense lately. Trust the numbers in this one and take the over. Take the over 155 points. Miami Redhawks vs Ohio Bobcats. Miami lost to Ohio by 10 points in the first meeting between the two 78-68, but covered the number nonetheless as 10.5-point road dogs. The Redhawks have covered the number in 5 of their last 7. Miami is scoring an average of 73.5 points per game, and although the Redhawks will not prevail at home, they will play well enough to cover the nut. Our team pick is Miami Redhawks plus 6.5 points. Dwight Wilson III is leading Ohio in scoring and rebounding, with averages of 15.9 points and 9.3 rebounds per game, while Jalen Hunter is the second leading scorer and the leader in assists, with averages of 12.6 points and 4.4 assists per game. Ohio has 3 players averaging double figures in scoring, and as a team is scoring an average of 78.6 points per game. Miami looks for its 3rd consecutive victory on Saturday when playing at home against the Ohio Bobcats. Miami is 10-18 overall and 4-11 in MAC, following its 74-65 victory over the Bowling Green Falcons on Tuesday night. Anderson Mirambeau was the leading scorer for Miami with 24 points. The Redhawks are 9 games behind in the MAC standings. Mekhi Larry is leading Miami in scoring and assists, with averages of 17.2 points and 4.0 assists per game, while Morgan Safford is the second leading scorer and the leading rebounder, with averages of 15.1 points and 6.0 rebounds per game. The Redhawks have 3 players averaging double figures in scoring, and as a team are scoring an average of 73.5 points per game. Our total pick is over 151.5 points.